Now, Israel has resumed pounding the Gaza Strip, already devastated by a month-long war, soon after the ceasefire that was in effect from Tuesday ended on Friday morning. The Israeli military has unleashed heavy artillery fire on Gaza as ordered by Premier Netanyahu and military chief Moshe Ya'alon. Medics say several Palestinians have been injured. The Palestinian resistance has also reportedly started rocket attacks on Israel. Over 24 rockets have been fired on Israeli cities, including Ashkelon, Eshkol, Kivosim and S'dot Negev. The reports say some buildings in Sha'ar HaNegev have been hit by Palestinian rocket shrapnels, but there have been no casualties. Other reports say the renewal of the fighting has now made thousands of people flee from their homes from eastern Gaza. The surge of violence comes as Israel and Hamas failed to agree on extending the 3-day ceasefire. Let's speak to our correspondent Hisham Mahanna to get a clearer picture of what's taking place on the ground in Gaza right now. Hisham, as we speak to you, the Israeli onslaught is underway on the Gaza Strip, and as you mentioned yourself, this is a full-scale attack like we had seen before. In fact, there are expectations that the casualties are going to go up even higher than what we've seen in the past few days.
Yes, exactly. Israel is back to pounding the Gaza Strip, pouring tons and tons of explosions against the civilians in their houses, in their facilities, in the streets, in the vehicles, everywhere in Gaza Strip now. We are back at the same stage from which the ceasefire has started, as the Israeli airstrikes targeted multiple objectives in the north of Gaza Strip, in Beit Hanun, Beit Lahia, Jabalia, as well as the north of the Gaza city, as it has been targeting the Abraj al-Nada, which is called al-Nada Towers. It's a big neighborhood which is already destroyed before the ceasefire, and now Israel is back to target it again. There are 4 casualties have fallen wounded and transferred to a Shifa hospital, as far as we were informed from the Ministry of Health latest death toll update. The number of the casualties has jumped to more than 9,809 now, and more than 1,895 are killed by the Israeli military. Also, in the south of Gaza City, there's also some pounding on different areas also. Still, Israel is targeting most of the empty squares in Gaza, as it would be possibly a location from where the rockets will be fired, as the Israeli military considers. But the fact is that Israel hasn't yet achieved its goal to prevent and eliminate the power of the rockets coming out of Gaza by the Palestinian resistance. We could hear some shelling coming from the east of Gaza Strip. People are still fleeing, leaving their houses after they came back to their destroyed houses in the urban areas in the east, the west, and the south of Gaza Strip, especially in Jabalia in the east, and Shijaiya neighborhood, which was a crime scene for the Israeli military now. So the situation hasn't rested yet. There is still firing and retaliation from both sides, hoping for the next few hours that any agreement could be reached to end this ridiculous massacre by the Israeli military. However, the Israeli officials have been saying that there is no ceasefire with Hamas. There is no truce with the Palestinians unless there is a complete stopping of fire.
Indeed, and Hisham, before I let you go, also very quickly, we did know that the airstrikes are continuing. Artillery, heavy artillery was used, and also the Israeli Navy has fired shells into the Gaza Strip. This is all the while when hospitals are at 100% capacity. There's no place to keep dead bodies, and the injured are just pouring in to Gaza hospitals.
Exactly. When we are talking about the Israeli attack, it's a synchronized system for the Israeli weaponry. It's from the air, from the sea, from the ground, and it's continuous and it's organized as far as the Israeli military is considered as the supreme power in the Middle East. But that name has been put to the test in Gaza and proven its failure. Anyways, the hospitals are still fully occupied by patients. Yesterday I was in the Shifa hospital. I interviewed so many casualties there. Some of them are still in very immediate need to be evacuated from this hospital and sent to out of Gaza Strip to receive medical treatment. They are really urging anyone who could help them to intervene and get them out of Gaza Strip as soon as possible, considering the continuous closure of the borders, especially Rafah border with the Egyptian authorities, is still now closed until now. Many of the organizations now, the international NGOs, are also trying to bring into the Gaza Strip some of the medical supplies, some of the food, some of the generators in order to restart the pump lines and stations of the sewage system, which is totally damaged now in Gaza, as we can see. Also, that the environmental crisis has been in the urban areas, but also in Gaza Strip it's threatened. The emergency teams are not capable of coping with the maintenance for the network systems, lines and infrastructure from the underground because of the lack of equipment and the difficulties they are facing them with reaching the destroyed areas until the moment. So we are still witnessing synchronized process by the emergency teams in order to cope with this disaster.
Okay, Press News, Hisham Mahanna, they're reporting from the Gaza Strip. Hisham, thank you very much indeed. As we speak, our correspondent did say that 4 people have been confirmed injured in the latest Israeli strikes on the Gaza Strip. This as well, 2 people have been injured in Sha'ar HaNegev in retaliatory rockets fired from Gaza into Israeli cities. Sirens have gone off in many other cities, and at least 30 rockets have been fired by the resistance movements in Gaza. 3 of them have been intercepted.